Hello YouTube, welcome to the Huellas Callejeras channel. We are an animal welfare group based in Castellón, which is on Spain's Mediterranean coast, and we are all volunteers, normal people just like you who give part of our spare time to help animals in need. In this channel we usually share the day-to-day of our volunteers and the stories of the animals we help, but this video is slightly different. As animal lovers, most of us have gone through an adoption process and we have furry family members as a result. So we would like to share our experience with you in this series called Tips for Adopters. Although most of our videos have subtitles in English, this is the very first where we have an English voiceover. So if this is something you appreciate, please make sure to hit the like button to show it. Lesson 1 in our Tips for Adopter series is going to be about the different types of cat litter. We are going to cover the ones we have used, discussing the pros and cons, and whether you are new to this world and think some soil from your garden will do for your cat, or a feline pro with daily cat litter dealings, this video is just for you. Let's get started. The first type of cat litter that we are going to discuss is conventional non-clumping cat litter. This is the most common type of litter that you can find at your local grocery store. It is a simple clay substrate that takes advantage of the natural instinct of our little predators to cover their droppings to disguise the smell once they are done. It does not look like normal soil. The grain size is usually intermediate, like small pebbles. Non-clumping litter has two main advantages. First, most cats accept it really well, and second, it is one of the cheapest options. In a shelter setting, cats are coming and going every day, so litter life is not always exhausted by the time the litter box needs to be changed. In order to avoid cross-contamination from different backgrounds and spreading disease, a new cat means a fresh litter box. That is why having a low-cost option is very attractive. So when you first adopt a cat from your local rescue, do make sure to ask what type of litter she is used to, but don't be surprised if this is the one. On the other hand, non-clumping litter has two main disadvantages: durability when compared with other products available on the market, and the amount of dust it can have, as you can see in the image. This is not only inconvenient in terms of the cleanliness of your home, but is also an irritant to your cat. Also, once at the shop, you may notice that non-clumping litter comes unscented or perfumed. Do remember that perfumed options are intended for your nose, not your cat's, so she may decide to reject perfumed options. Unscented is always the safest choice. The next type of cat litter that we are going to analyze is called clumping litter. This is a more expensive product when you look at it at the shop, but its main advantage is durability, so over time the cost difference between clumping and non-clumping litter should be recovered. Its distinctive characteristic is that the moisture in pee and poop causes it to aggregate into bigger clumps that can be easily scooped, effectively separating from the clean litter not just the waste itself, but also any contaminated litter. The litter type on screen is considered premium, and that comes at a cost. This is because it is very thin, just like the natural substrate the cat would choose if not at home. Regarding the cons of this type of litter, we must maintain the dust problem, although this can be minimized in some products. The smaller grain size makes it easier for the litter to get caught between your kitty's paw pads, and then get spread around the house as she walks. Now, let's discuss silica crystals. Silica is not clay-based, it's an entirely different mineral. These are the same crystals that you would find in the tiny bags that come with your electronic equipment when you first buy it. Its working principle is that the crystals absorb moisture, and by absorption, they also minimize the smell of waste. But the first obstacle to overcome when introducing your cat to it is that not every cat likes a different texture. However, if you are looking for a low dust option, this is the very best you can find. Cost-wise, it is somewhere in between non-clumping and clumping options, with a durability closer to clumping. However, in our experience, the 1 cat 1 month estimate on the bag is usually not true, particularly if you use it as a low-dust option, because as the grains grind against each other when the kitty uses the box, dust does get generated inside the box over time. Also take into account that this is not a kitten-safe type litter, because when kittens are learning to use the litter box, they may chew or even swallow some of their litter, which would not be safe with crystals. As time goes by and the crystals saturate, they change color towards yellow. So for people who dislike this effect, there are colored options in the market, such as the blue tinted crystals you can see mixed in this substrate. Cats don't mind color as much as odor or texture, so do pick your favorite. If you're trying to convince your cat to use this type of litter and struggling with texture, you can try different grain sizes. The first three types of litter that we have described are mineral-based. Obtaining the raw materials for them results in a significant impact to the environment. Discarded litter is sent to landfill and is non-biodegradable, further increasing its damage to our planet. In this second part of the video, we are going to cover more environmentally friendly alternatives, starting with pellets. Pellets are small cylinders of compact material that can either be responsibly grown and harvested or recycled. We have tried two types of pellets made of wood and recycled newspaper. Newspaper pellets are equivalent to non-clumping litter in terms of durability, and they work by absorption. Wooden pellets work in exactly the opposite way to traditional clumping litter. They disgregate in contact with moisture, generating sawdust. Cleaning this type of litter is a bit different, in the sense that waste that is bigger than the average pellet size needs to be scooped, and sawdust contaminated by pee, which is collected at the bottom of the box, must also be separated. You can find litter boxes prepared for this, usually with small slits at the bottom of the box, so that sawdust passes through them and is then collected in a separate tray. Wooden pellets are also a great option for people who like perfume litters, because pine smell tends to please both cats and their guardians. Both types of pellets, made of wood and recycled newspaper, are usually great for kittens, and they also work very well with wounded cats that need a gentle texture that will not cause further damage to their lesions. Price can vary widely depending on where you live, because several other species of animals use pellets, so if widely available in your area, they can become quite cheap. On the con side is once again the texture. Although gentle, not every cat likes it. Last but certainly not least is modern natural clumping litter. This environmentally friendly option is made of vegetable fibers that clump together when wet. This type of litter is cleaned by scooping as usual, with an advantage. As long as the manufacturer instructions are respected, clumps can be disposed of by flushing them down the toilet. The disadvantage of this type of litter is its cost. It may not fit every budget. Let's summarize our tips for adopters regarding cat litter. We have seen 5 types of litter: basic non-clumping litter as a low-cost option, clumping, which increases durability for a little extra cost, silica crystals, which has the lowest dust generation but is not accepted by all cats, and 2 environmentally friendly options: pellets as a basic option and natural clumping litters, which are the perfect product except for its cost. As additional tips, if you don't want your litter to be pushed out when your cat digs into it, a cover to the box is very handy. And if you want to avoid a trail of paw prints, a small rug is a good idea. The most important thing is to keep the litter box as clean as possible. Never underestimate how much your cat appreciates a fresh box. It is a daily proof of how much you love him. Let us know in the comment section below if you have any suggestions or if you want to share your experience. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon!